Welcome, deviant drivers, to another episode of A Drink with the Driver. I got Junkai here. He's not in his home studio. Mick Ultra.
I wouldn't be drinking this shit if I was in my home
Hey
studio.
man, don't knock Mick Ultra, man. That stuff's good stuff, man.
I don't know where the good starts with your palate, but whatever. I don't know where the good
Uh,
starts with your racing either.
yeah, hey man, I'm not hanging in there. So we joined you guys. We had round two of the GT World Series. It was at Watkins Glen, which is always interesting and fun. So we'll get into some details on that. Got some interesting races coming up as well with regard to Sunday Cup. So we'll hit some leaderboards and so let's just get into it. So how did you feel this weekend? What did you think?
I mean, I love Watkins Glen to begin with. I think it's one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah.
Um, so I always enjoyed it. I enjoyed yesterday's race. Don't Need Time and Nismo, the three of us really hung out for about an hour, which was fun. And they both ran really clean. And yeah, it was. I had some pain points during the race, but overall, I enjoyed the hell out of it. How about yours? Tell us first off. Besides how the race went and all that, you got to tell us how you raced.
How I actually did, or oh, you're talking about how I raced.
How you raced? Yes.
Right. So how I raced was in full racing kit. Um, and when I say full kit, I mean everything, the fire suit, gloves, shoes, all of it. Um, and with VR, of course. And the reason I did it was I was thinking in the morning, I was like, look, we're gonna be, we're doing this lemons racing thing later in the year, and uh, I kind of occurred to me that all the racing that we do, and even though it is sim racing, but all we do is always in a climate controlled environment and nice 68 or 70 degrees, whatever you keep your house set on, and wearing well, some of us wear clothes. I mean, I think you race naked or something, but so I was like, I need to get kind of what the feeling's going to be like to actually do this. So I went and put the full race kit on, suited up, and it was remarkably comfortable. It got a little hot even towards the last 15 minutes, last 15 20 minutes was a bit uncomfortable. It was not a, you know, very bad, but it was just kind of that nagging uncomfortable that just kept creeping in your back of your mind. So, um, yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was interesting.
We
Um,
need photos. You realize that, right?
yeah, well, you can Instaface my wife next race and see if you get her to recruit to do
No,
that.
but we have a photo of you in your outfit, not in your rig, but in your
Yeah,
outfit.
yeah, yeah. You want to see it?
I mean, yeah,
All right, we'll flash it up here.
there you go. Boom, there it is. I don't know if you did it or not. If you didn't, you're a big disappointment. So, cheers to race two. Your Coors Light. I'm not even asking what you're drinking anymore because that shit's dumb. Um, so this was race two for you in
Yep,
VR.
yep.
Any changes? You getting better at it or what?
I tell you, I love VR. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but like we kind of talked about the other day, I find that while you do miss some of the information, and we'll get into that because I had my team captain Zen really had to step up in regard to the strategy. But where you're limited with some things, being able to see things and being able to know where you're at on leaderboard or who's fastest lap, that type of thing, remarkably, I find that not having access to those things makes me drive better because you're not distracted by all the different stuff on the screen. You're just running your race. You know what position you're in, but aside from that, that's really about it. You don't even really know who's behind you. That's how you got around me at Daytona. And
Well,
you,
that's how. Yeah,
yes,
100%.
that's how, because I would have crashed you. But
Yeah.
but you can't tell. You can see the car, but not the name. Of course, if you I guess if you did, it would be backwards or something. But you can't tell who's there. You don't know who's coming up on you. You don't know what the time difference is. But you really just zone in and run your own race, drive your car. And so in a way, it's a little bit easier, I find.
How was this? How's the start though in VR? Because I can't do it yet. Like it's just my head is just jello still to do it.
It's
Where did you sit on pole this race?
I qualied 11th, but I think I picked up two positions
Because of
um,
the Ferrari. Yeah.
because of the Ferrari, and I ended up I think behind Glovis, I believe. And when you're behind somebody, it's kind of like your bumper cam. You can't see anything but them. It's just
Mhm.
that car right occupying all of everything you can see. So you have to kind of either back off a little bit or shift to one side or the other. And at the start, there's not much shifting that you can do. So you just kind of have to guess when they're going to break and hope you're right. Sort of. It's chaotic. It starts and restarts always are, but in VR, it is a little bit nerve-wracking because you cannot see anything. And then you got cars on either side of you too, which you can
Right.
sort of see out of your peripheral, which
Yeah, I feel like you would feel kind of closed in as you're doing it.
is a little bit. Yeah, it's fun though.
What part of the track was the most enjoyable in VR?
Most enjoyable in VR, I would have to say, is probably the bus stop. Just the speed you're carrying through there, and especially if you're drafting somebody, I would have to peek out one side or the other. If they were all the way up high, I would have to peek out a little bit to be able to see when that turn was coming, and then let off a little bit, kind of give it a little bit of space and
Yeah.
coast into the curve. But then you can really see as you're going through the turn. It's really neat. You see their car and their car's kind of bouncing right in front of yours, and it's a really cool.
Yep.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I won't do it any other way now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Takes
Uh,
getting.
I'll get I'll get there at some point.
Yeah, at the very first, it sort of made me a little bit nauseated. Not really a car sick feeling, but a little bit. It is warm. The headset gets
It is
hot.
hot. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I started doing so that you don't sweat in it and kind of get all that gunky, all in that rubber piece or whatever. I had the balaclava that I wore that goes with my race helmet that I always wore so you don't get your helmet sweaty. It's not a fireproof one or nothing like that, but put that on and that absorbs all the moisture and that way your headset stays completely dry and you don't have to wipe it out. It doesn't get all gunky and nasty and you got to clean it all. No, I do
Are
none
you
of that.
using the ears from the VR headset or are you using
Yeah.
your okay. How do you put that in with a balaclava on?
You put it around, you put it through here
Oh, okay. All right.
so that it kind of goes over yeah. Hmm.
You really thought this through.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. So any issues here this race? Watkins?
No, not really. The biggest issue that I had that I realized was the pit is extremely fast. As soon as you go into the pits, you're
It's like, what do you want for your tires?
yeah, pick your tires.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? You done yet? Come
What do
on.
you want? Yeah, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? So I was trying, and most all tracks, Daytona included, I had time to be able to flip out of VR, look at the screen, see what we're doing, what fuel we're taking, because a Zen strategy is fairly complicated. So I had time to look at that. I realized that two things happened. The first stop, I looked and I click off of the VR with the little bottom button, so you can read it, and then I'm trying to hurry, so I got to get back in. So I clicked it, but my head was oriented towards a screen, my right screen, when I clicked it. So then when I got back in the game, where I was supposed to be looking was over here.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
You're
okay,
driving like this.
I was driving like this and I was trying to select and then I got it selected and then it fueled and I was trying to reset it back to
Mhm.
and I was like, this is ridiculous. This isn't going to work. And I got out and I was realizing I was like, I didn't even have time to look what the next stop was going to be where I should go. I had an idea, but not very good. So I just told Zen, I was like, "You're going to have to call it out to me, brother. I can't,
Yeah,
I can't remember it, and I don't have time to flip back and forth. It was just
yeah.
so quick." So a downside of VR, but overall, not that big a
You
deal.
know, Glovis during the race at one point was like, "I don't need time. How far are you from third?" or
Yeah,
something like that. And he's like, "You? What do you mean you don't know?" And Glovis is like, I mean,
I don't
I
know.
can't see shit."
Yeah, no idea. Yeah, yeah, I heard that. I know he was doing VR as well, so I was knowing what he was trying to figure out because, yeah, I was trying to figure out the same thing. Yeah,
Hmm. Yep. We had a decent showing, at least, right?
yeah,
I mean, you didn't run out of fuel. I did.
no, no, yeah, no. I had a good race. I was behind Glovis for several laps, five or six at the beginning, and we were kind of held up there behind. I think it was Camzilla in the Viper, and
Apparently, the Viper just like blocked
it was a
everything.
rolling roadblock. It was a rolling roadblock the whole race. And the lead pack just kind of left us to the point where at no point could I, when I was looking around them, could I see anybody. It was as if Camzilla was leading the race.
A race within a race.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, it was fun. The whole race was fun. I love Watkins Glen. We got Laguna Seca next, which I love that track too.
Hmm.
So, um, yeah. So how did
Yeah,
yours go? You ran out of gas.
yeah, I did run out of gas. I did. Yeah. This race again, I treated this race like Daytona, just knowing the Porsche was not going to have the top end to
Mhm.
kind of keep up with the top end cars. So I went with the same strategy as I did last time. Um, I'm not going to give away too much because I did something a little bit different here that someone actually questioned in Discord. I'm not going to answer it, but nonetheless, I had fun. Nismo is a clean driver. I was on his ass practically the entire race, except for the beginning, obviously, because the Porsche sucks off the line. I went from third place to seventh place by the bus stop, and I was just like, Cam was on my right. I got passed by quite a few different people, but then as we're going up the hill, Cam's on my right, and I'm like, just go, Cam, it's fine. Like, there's nothing I can do. Like even under slipstream, ever just passing me. It's fine, whatever. But it didn't take long to get back up towards the front, and then it was don't need time, Nismo and myself, kind of jostling back and forth between the pits and everything like that. Caught a couple penalties, ran a little wide on turn one twice, and then that dumbass 3 second penalty coming into the pits. And like the sunlight was as bright as could be right before that last turn at the pit entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just did not see the yellow line. And I thought I was over far enough. Apparently not. And yeah, that
Watkins
sucked.
is one of the toughest pit entrances. You can't just that one and the one Mount Panorama is also very difficult. But um, Watkins
Alsace is
Glen,
the same in that.
true. At Watkins Glen, you can't just yeet it in there because it's literally one lane. I mean, they mean like a lane, and then it goes to a 90 degree. So you really gotta really
Yeah.
watch what you're doing. And if you cross it at any point, get too wide or something, penalty. I think several people got penalties. I think Glovis got a penalty maybe on the.
Yeah. It sucked because my pit strategy, I started on mediums, went medium, medium, hard, medium is what my strategy was. And strategy worked out fine. I overpressed at the end. I'll tell you here in a second, but everything was fine. I pitted on lap 8. I pitted on lap 17, and then I pitted on 24 and kept the shortest stint for the hard tires. Um, and I was going for the undercut on Nismo. So I went in on pit 24. He hadn't pit yet. So I was hoping that I would get ahead of him, and that's when I picked up the 3 second penalty. And as I'm coming around turn one, he's just coming out of the pits. I had just served my 3 second penalty, so it would have worked had I not picked up the 3 second penalty. So
Right.
tucked right back in behind him again, and he just ran clean. And out of my frustration of what just happened, I wasn't paying as much attention to my rev limiter, and I overpushed it. I even put a touch more fuel in than I would have. I only had 8 laps left. I put 8.5 in, and at lap 30, I looked at my fuel and was like, ah, shit. I'm right on this most butt. And I'm like, I don't have enough fuel to get around him. So I tried to like just modulate it a little bit, keep don't need time off of me, which he was a few seconds behind. He, unbeknownst to me, he was doing the same thing. But I was like, God, I don't want to run out of gas. I don't want to run out of gas. And I did coming into the finish line. I was probably 10 car lengths in front of the finish line when it puttered out. But I coasted right in. So yeah, that was my race. It was fun though. Like racing with Nismo, racing with Don't Need Time, was a good time. Don't
Yeah.
need time, good time.
Don't need time. Good time. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was the Porsche. God, the rear end just likes to come around on it in the braking zones and those elevation changes.
Mhm.
It just,
The Ferrari to an extent as well. If you're trying to brake, turn, and go down a hill or something, it gets all
yeah,
weird and squirrely.
yeah. Laguna, I like. I feel like I'm going to struggle with the same thing there. Is especially coming down. You know,
The
it's.
corkscrew is going to be interesting because I'm not used to MR cars.
I
And
think the corkscrew will be fine.
you think?
It's
Okay.
it's after you get, as long as you're off the brakes before you turn in to go down the corkscrew. I think you're going to be fine there. I think the problem is going to be as soon as you get off the corkscrew and it's that gradual left hand downhill,
Yeah.
that's going to be the hard turn.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, but nonetheless, there's a lot of tight racing in this one. Watching Webo's stream on this, uh, watching the Vipers sitting there just clog up everything.
It was a big difference from Daytona.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, let's talk about that for a second. They were so chatty at Daytona after the fact. And now I didn't hear much out of them. It's weird how just
Yeah.
like one day to the next, it's completely different.
They've been a little bit quieter. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was a beast of a car, though. Like just watching Cam just take away when I'm next to ahead of him, and I'm like, whatever, fuck you.
Yeah, he definitely that Viper, like you talk about Daytona.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
no, 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 not even Daytona. I'm talking here too.
oh here too. Yeah, if they
Yeah,
were if they were on a straightaway, yeah, there's just nothing that could even
but I
touch
will
them.
say this about that Viper. So when you're going up the hill on that straight, if you don't catch that first turn right, you would drift all the way out to the wall, and you'd have to lift in order not to hit that wall. Where most cars don't have that problem.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I wonder how they'll do it at Laguna Seca.
oh, it's going to be horrible. There's not much of a long straight. That thing is tough to rotate. I don't think they'll do horrible, but it is going to be a challenge. I'll say that to them.
Yeah.
It'll be a challenge.
Yep.
They'll make it back up when we get over to like St. Croix and Spa. Like they'll be back up top again, but
Yeah.
they're gonna have to wait a couple races first. It'll be nice and quiet for a little bit. Yeah. So overall, though, what was your strategy?
We ran hard, medium, medium, medium.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to get the hard tire out of the way, get it done early. You know,
I feel
typically,
most did that.
yeah, most of the time I always try to get the hard tire out of the way just because in the start you're so crammed up with everybody, you're just not able to utilize like if you're using a medium or even
Mhm.
back when we used softs when they were actually able
Yeah.
to be used. you just couldn't utilize the tire to any real
So
advantage.
I did it different this race. I did start on mediums because I
Yep.
knew I was going to lose a ton of positions.
Mm.
And I figured if there was going to be an opportunity to get past a few cars pretty quickly, it was going to be being on a better tire than them. And that's kind of why I chose mediums at the beginning is again, I started on seventh and then worked my way up to third pretty quickly. And then I was able to maintain. And then when I got on hard tires, everybody else was on mediums.
Hmm.
It took a little bit to kind of keep up. I was able to keep in tow of Don't Need Time and Nismo, but that's why I did that was so I did not get bogged down with being on comparable tires and unable to get around people as quickly and be stuck behind a Viper or something like that. So that's why I did it a little bit different. I'm glad I did for this race. I don't know if I'll do it again like that, but it definitely was a benefit to be able to kind of just get out into kind of some clean air and then in hopes that I could keep the hard tires, somewhat competitive when everyone else was on mediums and, seemed to work out.
Interesting. Okay. See if Zen can factor that in maybe on one of his new plans.
Well, I mean, you're not going to know them anyway, so what's the matter?
Yeah, you're right. I won't. Laguna Seca though does have a long pit, so I'll have time to be able to read as I go.
Is it? Yeah, I guess it is a long pit. Yeah, it's a very long pit,
I
actually.
mean, yeah, it's real long, especially coming out. I mean, I could read the whole
Yeah,
strat
it's
again.
painful.
It is. It is. So let's talk about finishing order for GTD Pro. So GTD Pro, Nismo took the win, gaining up 20 points, followed by yourself in second. Then it was Don't Need Time, followed by Glovis, then Zen, myself, then Larry with fastest lap. Larry had fastest lap. Do you remember what Larry's fast lap was? What was it? A 144.3?
144.7. No, he was on mediums. Not saying he can't do that on mediums. I'm just saying he was on mediums. Let me tell you 2 seconds. Continue.
Yes. After Larry was Berman, followed by Chaotica and Floody, Comacopa, Preston, Cam, Zilla, and Izzy. So that was the finishing order for GTD Pro
144. I was right. 144.751
on mediums. Well done.
on mediums.
Mediums.
But it was 25 seconds off the leader. So, but he got a point. So, hey,
You got
it's
a point.
good. He's good. I think, right now, looking at relegation, you got Preston kind of under the line right there.
Mhm.
You got Chaotica, who I don't know has lived under that line before. I still don't know what happened at Daytona with Chaotica. I need to ask him. I felt like it was too soon to ask him last time we were on.
Yeah. Is are the colors wrong on this? We have three yellows.
Yes. One of those is going to be green,
Glovis
which,
and Don't Need Time are teammates.
yeah. So
So
Chaotica,
is green.
maybe.
No, he's in the
No.
McLaren.
Yeah, Chaotica is in the McLaren. So colors to be determined later on at another time. It probably did not sort. Well, no. I mean, I've got my teammate.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Coma. He was running in fourth for quite a while. Something happened. I don't know exactly what. But he had a small mistake, and then after that, just couldn't get back through the traffic and everything. Um, Obviously, Zen had a good race. You as a team had a good race in that regard.
Zen and I were together a good bit in the race, either me in front of him or him in front of me. I mean, we ran right together. Did the same thing at Daytona, actually. We were right in the same area for that race as well. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So let's talk about total points and where everybody stands in the official ranking here. We have a tie for first currently with Nismo and Camzilla, both with 20 points. Of course, there's a dropped race, so this is the best out of two thus far. Um, so both of them are 20 points tied. Let's see, how did they? Yeah, let's see, how did they work display? Oh, okay, Nismo got the higher position for a second race, so he is technically in the lead. Followed by yourself in third with 15 points, and you're tied with Floody with 15 points as well.
Bring it,
So
bitch.
tie for first and second, and tie for second or third and fourth. Followed by Don't Need Time with 13 points. Then Glovis with 11. Myself and Zen are tied with 10 points. And Berman and Larry are tied with 9. That fastest lap came in handy. It
Hmm.
brought him up, one. Then Komakopa sets right above relegation line with 8 points. And currently below relegation, not that this means a whole lot because we are still very early in the season, but is Preston with 6, tied with Chaotica also with 6, and Izzy with 3. So that is
So
where
Preston and Berman are in the same car, right? Aren't they on the same team?
I believe
They're in
so. I believe
they're in the
Izzy,
Lexus.
yeah,
We're gonna sort all this out.
yeah,
Watch
we're
this.
gonna have to sort all this out. It looks like some of it is right, but some at the bottom here may not
Yeah,
be.
no, I'm right. So Berman and Preston are on the same team.
Okay.
It's Izzy and Chaotica that are on the same team in the McLaren that should be switched.
Yeah.
We'll get it. We'll get it. The one you see on the screen will have anything to do with what we're talking about because he'll have the correct one. You think we're talking morons over here, and
I should
you'd
just
be
I
correct.
should put the wrong one up so that they can look at it too.
And it's not a bad idea. At the rate that we get shit done, I mean, it's probably going to be legit. It'll probably be legit, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Webo's commentary was great this race. I was very, 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 very disappointed that my livery did not come through. I spent a lot of time on my livery.
That's twice. There's Daytona. Daytona, we regularly have issues with liveries. We did last time we did Daytona with the streams for
Yeah,
whatever reason, but we've not really had issues at other places. So it was surprising to see that several of them didn't come through at Watkins, but yours was one of them, I noticed. It's
yeah,
unfortunate.
that aggravated me a little bit. Yeah,
The
nobody's
one
fault,
time you
but
made one.
and then the funny part is Team Chameleon stole Coma's livery, and then Coma's didn't show. So technically, you didn't steal shit. There's nothing to steal. If you wanted to steal something, it would have been a white car. Didn't happen.
It's true. It is true. Yeah.
There's no proof. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we went old school monsters. So I was the mummy, he was Dracula, and then Saito was Swamp Thing,
That one did
and
come
then
through.
Bong It was Frankenstein. Yeah, we
Frankenstein. I
know.
think I think Frankenstein came through.
Yeah, it
I
came
know
through.
Swamp Thing did.
It was just weird how just like the Porsches didn't come through.
Yeah, did your show at Daytona?
It did,
Yeah,
yeah, because
it did.
he referenced the Minion Mobile multiple times.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what the issue is with PD or the lobbies or why that happens.
Apparently, someone figured something out that we got to clean our cache.
Oh, how do you do that?
Stay tuned. It's coming in Discord.
Okay.
You won't be able to get in the lobby until you clean your cache,
Okay.
just so we can have liveries.
Drivers meeting ahead of time next time.
Yeah,
Clean your
yeah,
cash.
yeah. I feel like there was a conversation. We're not going to go there. Whatever. Let's go to GTD.
GTD's race, yes. GTD, they had an exciting race. I tell you, I love watching. As soon as we finish with GTD Pro, go straight to watch the commentary for Webo commentary. Everybody, if you
Mhm.
haven't liked, shared, and subscribed to Webo commentary's channel, please go there. and
You
support him.
plug his, you don't plug ours like ever.
Yeah, you're right. I don't plug ours. You should like, share, and subscribe ours as well, especially if you're watching this.
God, Webo's over there just like,
Did you hear what he said he wanted people to do? Was set up a playlist and let your phone run overnight to get views.
yeah, I did hear him say that. Yeah,
That was hilarious. I was like, that's actually
yeah.
a good idea. Somebody should do that to our channel. Like, make a playlist of Drink with the Drivers and then let it run all night long.
You mean you haven't done that?
No. I
Glad
mean,
you're
I
in it.
usually I usually account for about 5 or 6 of the views anyway, because
That's
by the
true.
time I upload it and watch it, and
You say it's funny that you say that. I watched practically 35 minutes of the Daytona race last night. I don't know why. I was going back to look at something and I kept watching and watching. I was like, "Hmm." Next thing you know, I'm like 35, 40 minutes in and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go put Christopher down. So yeah, Webo, your media stream's good. Thank you, sir. I
keep
think
up
it
the good
helps
work.
that he's getting to know everybody a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah, yeah. And I think some of the drivers and captains went to him and gave a little bit of story, some details on the cars, so he had some filler content for
Yeah,
the.
Larry asked for
Yeah,
some details and nobody gave him anything.
yeah. I saw he asked for some clips, right? Because he's putting together another one of
No,
those
not
series
clips. I'm talking
mashups.
like before the race actually happened. He's like,
Oh,
hey, give me details on your livery. I'll give it to Webo. I won't say anything. And because of Team Chameleon, everyone's like, I'm not saying shit about my livery. And Larry's like, no, you can trust me. And everyone's like, nope,
nope.
not that I don't trust you. I don't trust Glovis.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Well,
how it went down.
that's how it went down. Okay.
Yeah, we already have our next livery. Do you have your next livery? What was your last one? Yours was oh, that's right. You needed more cleavage on your car.
Uh, yeah, well, apparently there's this TV show called The Boys on Amazon Prime. Never heard
Have
of it.
you never seen it?
I've never heard of it.
Dude,
Zen was telling me about it.
it is gory and funny as hell.
Is it? Yeah, maybe I'm after I'm done watching the last season of Peaky Blinders, then I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, you got to check it out. I mean, you may not be into superhero stuff and
Yeah.
like that, but it's the stuff that happens is
Pretty good.
absolutely amazing. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good show.
Okay. Yeah, well, I was Starry Eyes or whatever her name is.
Do you even know what she looks like?
Yeah, I think she was blonde, maybe.
All right, whatever.
I think. I think I Googled it when I was trying to do the liveries. I mean, one was like Captain America, which is pretty easy. Um, you know, and then Starry Eyes. So, um, I had to, I had
Just
to
go,
Google image
just
it.
go, just
So,
start, just start talking
the next
about
livery that we're
GT.
gonna do, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not worried about Glovis. He's already copied us one time, so he won't copy us again. He'll go.
No, but see, that's what everyone thinks. Like it's a one and done. Nobody has said it's a one and done. That's what we'd
Yeah,
like to think.
I think he'll. I think he needs to copy the Vipers. He needs to figure out what they've run the same livery back to back, I believe.
It just makes it too simple. Our next livery is going to be on point.
I hope it shows up.
I mean, you got to catch up to me to see it, but yeah, it'll be there.
Yeah,
Nothing. You got nothing to say?
well, I was ahead of you at Daytona, and had I known what your livery looked like, I've paid attention this time when we were in the lobby, because at Daytona I didn't know it was you. And I was like, what? I was like, Junkai, what are you driving? And I was looking for you in the thing. I was like, okay, it's brown. So fine, brown. It's the only brown car that's out there. So at least I knew if you were behind me, what you would look like. Brown glob.
Hey, still best finish of the season. Calling it already was at the line at Daytona.
It was. It was.
Second.
It was. It was a total Monica moment because
I know, I know.
I didn't know it was
Actually,
you. I
I
had no
thought you were
idea.
gonna pit me,
I
but it
was. If
didn't
I knew it
happen.
was you, I would have. So GTD. Okay, so GTD. They had some exciting moments too. I mean, Watkins Glen just typically has a lot of good places. The bus stop, down at the boot, there's a couple spots they
Dude, it
got
kills
into
your
each other.
tires though.
Huh?
I said it kills your tires so bad.
Yeah, it's rough on the left side for sure.
And Bongit, unfortunately for him, man. So like at the start, he launched off great and he got out in first place, was running up towards the front, and then it was like lap seven. I think it was lap seven because he was supposed to pit on eight. Like that uphill at the shoe, he
Hmm.
just went straight. And you look at his tires, and the front left is just dead. And he hit us up in Discord. He's like, "Man, the brake bias didn't catch, and he didn't catch it.
Hmm.
So he was running zero brake bias when he was supposed to be five to the rear, and so his tires up front just were shot, and he didn't even realize it till it was too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Are
sucked.
you running any brake bias this season?
So I did not for Watkins. Two reasons. One, because the fronts ran so because usually with an MR you're going to move the brake bias to the front a little bit, um, and by doing that though I had worse tire wear, so I didn't do that. So I was going to run it to the rear a little bit, and the braking got horrible. Like it literally, I was coming in sideways to a couple of the turns. So I
Yeah.
just kept it at zero, just live with that. And if it got too bad, I would bump it up, bump it back a little bit and try to maintain. But for the most part, I just kept it at zero. At Daytona, I did run one to the front.
Yeah, the Ferrari seemed to be, it was left sides. They were pretty equal, the way they were wearing out, even with zero. So it was just the left side just went, just
Yeah.
it Watkins Glen. But yeah. So finishing order for GTD, Arcane, back-to-back wins. This time he took fastest lap. So he's starting out
Dude, he had
strong.
a stellar pass on the bus stop. Did you see that on Webo stream?
I think so, but refresh my memory.
It was him and Bongit coming into the bus stop, and neither one of them backed down. Arcane, I believe, was on the inside and just freaking gunned it and right through there, made the pass. No interaction between the two drivers whatsoever. That was pretty on point.
Yeah,
That was cool.
well done. Well done. Two back-to-back wins, and fastest lap for this one. Second was dollars per win, followed by Dirksey, then Lalo, Thrasher. Thrasher bringing in top five. Way to go. Then Sully, Huge Jar, T Deeds, Osmanian Devil. Osmanian Devil is one of our new drivers, correct? He's just joined not too long ago, right?
Mhm.
Yep. Followed by Jim, Kuroskai, Saito, and Billy Bob.
Yeah. So Saito Bongit, they practiced. I didn't practice at all for this race whatsoever. Didn't all my time went to the livery that nobody saw. But Bongit and Saito put in some good time, and I know they were both kind of a little bit disappointed because they were hoping for a little bit more here. The Aston Martin is she's heavy, and it's tough to get around some of these tight tracks like this that are kind of high speed too. And so overall, I was still happy with what they did. Um, I saw what Thrasher did, where he tried to stop at the finish line coming into
Yes.
it, and he didn't stop in time. But thankfully, he didn't lose a position on it. I know he was going to run out of fuel and then just finish the race that way. That's how I finished Catalunya that one year against Besso
Yep.
when I
Yep.
ran out
I,
right after the line.
I was noticing that. I saw what he was doing, and then when I was watching the stream, I was like, I think Thrasher already is over the line. He was just sitting there, and the time ran out, but he was still it was still, he had to go around again. I was like, well, yeah, nobody was fortunately right there at him, so he didn't lose anything. It netted out the same, but yeah, missed it by a little bit. Let's miss about
He's
this much.
he's close to that promotion line though. Like overall points, he's sitting above it with Dirksey.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about that. So, um, last race, Toyotas with Team Chameleon dominated. They took a 1-2, Arcane and dollars per win. So they are sitting at the top, both of them, GTD. 21 points to Arcane to dollars per win is tied with 15 points with Jim. So those guys are sitting above promotion line, but Thrasher's right there at number 4 with 13 points, tied with Dirksey. Dirksey is also right there at right, but just below promotion line as well. So could see some change up in who's above promotion here at Laguna Seca. So we'll see if we'll see how the Toyota does at Laguna Seca. I think it's decent, right? It's
I
decent
mean, it's a solid car around
yeah,
pretty much every track.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty well balanced.
So following Dirksey is Bongit with 12 points. Then Lalo with 11. There is a tie with T Deeds and Sully, both with 8 points. Huge Jar at 10th with 7 points, followed by Saito with 6, Osmanian Devil with 5, Kuroskai with 4, and Billy Bob with 1. So
So
that is
who wins Laguna?
uh I gotta tell you, Dirksey is strong at Laguna Seca.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dirksy's strong, and he's doing well with the Hyundai. So and it's a pretty stable car as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the what was the one, the Mitsubishi Lancer. It's like the
Mm-hmm.
Lancer, but it's like a faster Lancer.
Yeah. Thrasher has hopefully he hasn't had the best luck at Laguna Seca for those that have been around a long time.
Yeah.
Um,
Neither
neither
has
has
Zen.
Zen hasn't had a good hopefully, yeah, hopefully both these guys get a better race this time. I hate seeing that happen because you put so much time and effort into it, and it only takes a couple mistakes just to end off track.
The worst part about Laguna Seca is once you get in the sand, you're in the sand, and
Willow
you're gonna
Springs.
lose significant amount of time there.
Yep.
Do that a couple of times, it's not good. So,
Nope. Nope.
and it's a
But
narrow
yeah,
track.
I could see Dirksey. I could see Dirksey on that one. What car's Jim in? Jim's in. Is he in the
Jim
Audi?
is in the Audi.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Jim and
That's got
Osmanian Devil.
that's got potential there. And if he's feeling a little bit better,
Yeah. Yeah.
because he was sick apparently.
Yeah. I mean, to take third and or take be in third, he didn't have a great showing at Watkins, but yeah, he said he's like suffering with the I don't know, flu bug or something that's going around. Whatever that
Larry said man cold.
man cold.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what Larry said, that's what we got to go with.
Yeah. But everything out of his mouth is facts.
If Larry says it, it's got to be true.
Shoot. Well, yeah, good race to everybody. I know for some it wasn't as good as others. It was good to see Lalo get up there in the top five as well. It's been a little bit for him. Bongit, my teammate, showing up, doing pretty well even after the debacle. He was smart though. He went in the pits that lap. He put on hard tires and just kind of changed the strat around a little bit, and he was able to gain some ground back at least. So, like you said, it's a
Yep.
long season.
It's a long season. We're not even halfway through. And so to talk about teams, where we stand with teams. Right now, Team Chameleon leads with 49 points, followed by Team America with 43. Then it gets awful tight between the teams as far as these points can shift around a lot in the coming races. Team Karate Tortoises with 37 points, followed by Team Universal with 35. And then Team Pike Fitness and Team Amazon are tied with 33. And Team Cannonball is 26. So right there in the middle, there could be significant shifting.
Look at Chameleon's overall points already, 82.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had strong finishes at Watkins Glen. Not so strong at Daytona, but Watkins Glen, and then with GTD, they've got basically 1-2 this past weekend and was it 1-4 weekend before?
Yeah, you
So,
didn't share that with me, so I don't know what we're looking at. That's all good
uh,
though.
so yeah, strong, strong, especially to overcome Viper with that 1-2
So,
Daytona.
all right. So your team excluded from this
Yeah. Okay.
rest of the season, based on what you know right now,
Mhm.
who wins? Team points.
Team points.
Yeah.
Ah, well, I can't put it on the Viper. I can tell you that.
Ouch. Damn, shots fired.
Um,
Anyone want a milk ultra to
God,
calm that shit down?
I mean, dude, I don't know that BMW is strong, man. I mean, you know, so gosh, I don't know. I'd have to say, yeah, either Team Chameleon or probably Team Karate Tortoises.
Yep.
If they get that BMW worked out, um, I mean that M6 is strong. So
Yeah, it's going to be strong at Suzuka
yeah.
and it's going to be strong at Spa.
Hmm.
We raced it at Suzuka. Well, you did.
Well,
I didn't. I got knocked off the track by my teammate.
yeah, sorry about that.
I don't hold a grudge by any means.
uh, so let's talk about your old stomping ground, GT Sport. They ran at the same time frame as GTD Pro.
And
And
it was recorded.
yes, it was
Sully
streamed.
streamed it. Yeah. So if you didn't catch it, you can
Yep.
go back and check it out. Sully got some good views of everybody.
Yep. Yep. So finishing order for GT Sport, Victor took the win for the second time, as well as this time around he took fastest lap, followed by Face, Mr. Fish, Texas Speed, Max Power, Roy Mustang, Young One, ROK. I don't know if that's like
We're going rock.
rock or does it stand for something? It's like an acronym. I don't know. Or rock, let us know. Manted Lord and then Priest. So they had a good showing with GT Sport. And where they stand in points wise, Victor is number one with 21 points, followed by Face with
How many
15.
fastest laps does he have?
Just one. Texas
Out of how
Speed
many
had
races?
fastest lap at Daytona.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
So he didn't get fastest lap at Daytona.
No,
Okay.
no.
I just, yeah. I can see my screen. It's just, I just want to hear it. That's all. Vic's dying to not be for him not to be racing in the GT world. So it's just kind of like grind it in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, but I mean, he could, if there was a seat open one weekend, he could swap out, put himself out there, you know. So Texas Speed is third with 14 points, followed by Mr. Fish with 13. Whenever I see his name, you know what I think of immediately?
Hmm.
I know you're gonna think of this as soon as I say it. Remember that restaurant, Miss Fish and Mr. Fish in Myrtle
Yeah.
Beach? Every time I see his name, I think about that restaurant.
Mrs. Fish was on point. I used to get the fried flounder, the gumbo, and the green beans.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. Miss Fish was better than Mr. Fish.
Yeah, the missus is always better. But yes, I agree.
Fifth is Max Power with 9 points, tied with Priest, no, tied with Rutaz with 9 points. Priest and Roy Mustang are tied with 8 points. Then ROK in the USA is tied with Young One with 7 points. Manted Lord with six. Lepsky with five. Siam is there were three. He did not make these guys did not make this past weekend. Then Sean, I'm just gonna say Sean because I can't pronounce the nutty buddy or whatever. With 1 point,
Nothing.
and uh and then Golden Oracle.
Good enough.
So
So cool thing out of this one is, last podcast we were talking about how Roy Mustang and his son were swapping seats because of the longer pit times.
right.
Remember?
Yep.
So, and we made the challenge of like, hey, let us know when your son's just going to race the whole thing, and he did that this race and took what did he take? Seventh place, I think, something like that.
Uh, Sixth. Yeah.
Sixth,
The
even
Roy
better.
Mustang Jr. took sixth place.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Way to go,
Yep.
Roy Mustang Jr. Roy Mustang, wait a minute. Roy Mustang Jr. did better than Roy Mustang Sr. at Daytona.
I mean, that's partially true because Roy Mustang Jr. also ran at Daytona as well.
Aha.
But I see where you're at. And I'd also say, all the adults that took behind him lost to a child. Roy Mustang Sr. and Jr., we are rooting for you because it's a hell of a story.
That's right, y'all. Yeah, yeah. Practice up Laguna Seca. Um, that's awesome that they're doing. They're like hot swapping literally in the sim.
Well, he ran the whole thing this time, though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But they
I
hot
want to
swapped at
see.
Daytona, right?
Yeah, they swapped at Daytona.
Yeah.
I want to see you two race. I wonder what that would turn into.
You want to see a what?
You and Roy Mustang Jr. race.
Oh, okay.
1v1.
You want me to run a child?
I mean, he's beaten half the field. Why not?
Yeah, I'm down for that. Maybe we do it as let's put something together. Yeah, do a charity race or something. We'll raise money for it.
All right. So here's the stipulations. You got to be in your racing gear.
Okay.
It's got to be 90 degrees in your second floor. No ceiling fan, no AC, and you're on hard tires
Okay.
and a road car Mustang, and he's in a GR4 Mustang.
GR4. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Road Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me some advantage.
Are you nervous?
I'll take our Lemons Mustang.
All right, so we put him in the GR4, and you take the Lemons Mustang.
Take the Lemons
We'll
Mustang.
tune up the Mustang a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that'll work.
I think that'll work. I'm down
Challenge
for that.
accepted.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll put that together. So
Okay.
Roy Mustang and Roy Mustang Jr. get with us, and we'll do that as a specialty thing. We'll have to put together when we're going to do that. Sounds like fun.
Probably around his school schedule, just so you know.
Well, yeah. Okay.
What I'm saying is it's not going to be late on a Thursday night.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So it can't be 11:30 on a Thursday. Okay.
Right. Oh, shoot. All right. We
All right.
need to wrap this up. We've been talking about
Yeah.
Jack Crap.
So let's hit up Sunday Cup real fast while we got a few minutes. So this weekend is the TC Cup that Glovis put together, so you don't want to miss that. Glovis races are always spectacular.
Did you see the car bank? It's like this long.
I saw that. I was like, damn, look at that car back, man. I was like, man, I don't know what to pick, but so yeah. So that is the TC Cup this weekend. Let me flash the rules up for you guys. So there you can see what the rule and that massive car bank is. So if you haven't picked your car yet, go ahead and get that sorted out. Points in the Sunday Cup standings right now. Zen is leading with 61 points, followed by myself with 59. Face
Ooh.
with 55, yeah. Vic with 52. Dirksey with 51, Chaotica with 46, Glovis with 46 as well, Rutaz with 42, Preston 37, Siam 29, Thrasher 26, and Priest with 12. So, um, yeah. So,
You're actually competing in Sunday Cup,
yeah. Yeah, surprise.
and you're doing that in VR.
I am doing that in VR.
Nice.
Hmm.
So, what car are you picking for this touring?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I should say it.
I won't tell anybody.
Oh, well, if it's just between the two of us.
And by the time they figure it out, it's going to be really too late to put any time and effort into it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the BMW
I
because
figured you would.
I mean, BMW's pretty solid cars. Yeah, especially on road courses. So, of
Yeah. All right.
course, there's
So,
some all-wheel drive options too, so
yeah.
you
Yeah.
never know.
I mean, I could come race, right? There's room. What do I
Yeah,
have going
there
on this
is. There's
Sunday?
there's plenty room. There's
Oh,
plenty room.
you're going to be at my house.
Well, yeah, that's the other side of this thing is
All
I got a
right.
race on your rig. So whatever I pick, I'm gonna have to let you know so that you can tune it.
Well, I mean, you can just tune it when you get here.
I mean, I could. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Silo's out of town. His PlayStation's here. I could run on the controller. I might. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So to segue into where we're going next to wrap this up, Merc's going to be at my house
Mhm.
again, and we're going to do some lemons stuff.
Yep.
Not we're not doing a lemonade stand for anybody who doesn't know what lemon stuff is. Go to the channel, Lemons channel in Discord. We're going to work on the stang a little bit.
Yep. Yep. That is the plan for this weekend. Knock out a few smaller projects, kind of get some of those small boxes checked so that we can move on to some of the bigger and more grandiose things that we have coming. Closer and closer all the time. We have a car that can be driven now. We do need to get an exhaust so that we don't die of carbon monoxide poisoning. So that's on the agenda for the weekend. And
Dramatic.
then we'll have, yes, absolutely.
We'll just roll the windows down. It's fine.
A
Oh wait,
window down.
the passenger side, the driver doesn't work. So everyone says we our car's not $500. It's more than that.
Right.
We call bullshit.
Exactly. Exactly. When you list out the problems, it's like a 16-year-old's first car that they bought. It's like, oh, mom, it's great. It's a Honda Civic. The window doesn't work. Tail lights don't work. It has no exhaust on it.
I literally saw my first car today. Um, One of my coworkers was in front of me, and I was like, "Hey, look to your left." I texted him. I was like, "Look to your left. That's my first car." And it was a 1985 Chevrolet Cavalier. It was wretched.
What color was it?
That car was white. My car was also white.
White Cavalier, huh?
I didn't technically own it. It was my aunt's, but I drove it for like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, the ladies really flocked to it. That's for sure.
They go crazy over a Cavalier, man.
Hey, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. So
Uh,
yeah, lemons wise, hopefully we're gonna try and get some insurance on this bad boy. We're gonna put some mileage on it. And I wonder if there's like a weekend insurance package you can put on a car. Like I just want to drive it Friday to Sunday.
yeah,
Forget
call
about
the
the
insurance
rest.
agent. Yeah, my car is too much shit to insure it for the entire week. Can I just get weekend insurance?
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Or
Oh,
just activate it on Thursday night and cancel it on, on Monday morning. Ask your wife if that's reasonable.
oh yeah, because she would love to do that. Just every Thursday, writing a policy, and then Sunday night, call her up. Hey,
Mr. Constantino, is it you again? Yes, ma'am. Can you cancel my policy, please?
don't delete it though. I'm gonna need you to reinstate it Friday morning.
Yeah, yeah. And then eventually she just gives me the admin rights so I can just do it myself.
Yeah, you just do it yourself. Yeah, turn it on and
Yeah,
off when
within
you
your
want it.
system. So, all right. Well,
Keep an
all
eye,
in
guys,
all,
on the channel. There may be some funny shorts coming over the weekend and into the first of the week, so don't forget to keep checking for those in case some of those pop up.
like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe our channel. Do
God,
Webos too, but do ours as well.
you're welcome, Webo. We've sacrificed 3 years of investment to boost your channel. We suck at this. We're never making any
Uh,
money. All
all right,
right.
guys. We'll see
Well,
you next time. Good night.
Laguna.